Hello folks, how you guys doing? My name is Mark, this is Why I Hate the World. My peoples, where you at? Lots of stuff to talk about, but today we're going to be working on our tentacle beast guy, adding a little bit more color. Maybe I'll put some stuff in the background. And I still don't like the way this foot looks. That foot looks like crap, so we're going to work on that. Anyway, folks, first thing I want to talk about here is this Trump mistrial conspiracy theory. What in the hell is going on with that? So as you're all aware, Donald Trump is a convicted felon now. Convicted on all 34 counts in his criminal hush money trial where he banged a porn star and then covered it up and tried to say that it was legal expenses or whatnot, which is, in New York State, a crime. And the Maga people are very, very, very upset over that. Obviously, I can understand why. You know, Cheeto Jesus has fallen from grace. They must be very, very pissed at that. When you're looking for an excuse for something, it really doesn't take very much to find one. Basically, these people are ready to latch onto any kind of excuse whatsoever that they can get in order to keep their denial going that Donald Trump is not a scumbag. And looks like they have found it. So let's get into what the hell exactly happened. Long story short, a guy shitposted on Facebook that he knew a day in advance what the verdict was going to be, and the judge decided to, rightfully inform everybody that this happened, and the conservatives and MAGA people have jumped all over this, claiming that this is now proof that there should be a mistrial, that there was, jury misconduct and all that stuff, and Donald Trump was set up from the beginning, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. You know how these things go. Basically, they're looking for any excuse that they can, and now they all think that they found one. Here's a little clip that I found on YouTube of how Fox News reacted to the news that somebody claimed their cousin told them that Donald Trump was going to be convicted the next day.
We move on now to a Fox News alert. Trump's lawyers and the prosecution just received a letter from Judge Merchan, alerting them to a post on Facebook made before the verdict came out, saying, quote, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you, folks, for all your hard work, 4 exclamation points."
Friday night, tonight, we have major breaking news from New York City. Not long ago, New York judge Juan Merchan issued a very bizarre, unusual letter notifying President Donald Trump's attorneys and the DA's office about a social media post on the Unified Court System's public Facebook page. Now, the post in question reads the following, quote, "My cousin is a juror. He says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you, folks, for all of your hard work." The post was published the day before the verdict on Wednesday, May 29th. In the letter, Merchan did not indicate whether this post was valid or if the courts are investigating the matter, but this is by far a very, by any level, an alarming development. And earlier tonight, this is huge, Judge Merchan from the Trump trial sent a letter to lawyers on both sides in that case, letting them know that before the verdict was announced, a Facebook user, I believe the day before the verdict, left a comment on one of the state court system's posts, writing, quote, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted." Okay, was the fix-in from the beginning? Is this cause for a mistrial?
This whole case stunk as bad as you thought it could. Now it smells like a 3-week garbage strike in August in New York City on the streets.
All right, Lisa, let me get your reaction to that as well. I mean, wow, if that's not cause for a mistrial, I don't know what is. This breaking news, Judge Merchan pointing out that on the state Facebook page that in fact somebody who claims to be the cousin of one of the jurors the day before the verdict comes in actually said Trump's getting convicted. Uh-oh. Cause for mistrial?
Cause for a mistrial. I like how they just jump to conclusions super fast like that. Now, would it be cause for a mistrial if this actually happened? If this actually was a real thing? Somebody blabbed. I don't know. Maybe. I guess you could say so if you could prove that that influenced the other members of the jury, maybe. I highly, highly doubt it. But that's the thing, right? When you're a true believer in a religion like this, the religion here being the Trump cult of personality, you don't actually need a rational explanation to believe anything. And that's what's going on with the Fox people. They're jumping on it because Donald Trump lost and they need some way to redeem him. And this is what you're seeing all over the place, all over conservative media, conservative Twitter in particular. I want to show you guys a couple of reactions that I found here. This is Matt Gaetz. Trump didn't get a fair trial. The jury was pre-cooked. We look like a third world country. That's Matt Gaetz. Here is the esteemed cat turd on X. The jury was rigged and they just got busted. And he, of course, is responding to this post here by Phil Holloway. Uh-oh, looks like there was juror misconduct in the Trump trial. We knew these jurors would not be able to avoid telling their friends and relatives what they were going to get Trump, but it's time for a mistrial with prejudice and no retrial, but will Merchan do the right thing? This is, of course, is the email that Judge Juan Merchan sent out, but I'll read it to you guys. Dear counsel, today the court became aware of a comment that was posted on the Unified Court System's public Facebook page, and which I now bring to your attention. In the comment, the user Michael Anderson states, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you folks for all your hard work." Heart emoji. You get the gist of the post. That's what they're responding to. Somebody went on the website, the Facebook website, for this court system and made this post. And all the conservatives are going bananas over it. Here's a guy named Ken Cook on Twitter. The jury was set to get him at all costs. 5 to 6 weeks of trial was a waste of time. It was all rigged from the start. Laura Loomer goes completely fucking nuts over this. And this is one of the reasons why I hate Twitter so much. They increased the amount that you can tweet, but only if you pay Elon Musk the $8, which I just refuse to fucking do. So now you can post a fucking book on Twitter. Now, I apologize in advance for subjecting you to Laura Loomer, but it's worth reading, right? Just to let you know, remember, Laura Loomer is the person who chained herself to the front doors of Twitter when they banned her for being basically Islamophobic. That's how Laura Loomer got her claim to fame, from being extremely Islamophobic and extremely racist and bigoted towards Arabs and Muslims and stuff like that, calling them terrorists, that kind of thing, by spreading hate. Let's read what she has to say. Must read, all caps. Beware of Democrat information warfare and psyops. Media and Democrats are deliberately lying and accusing Maga and President Donald Trump of falling for a hoax that has not yet been confirmed as a hoax. Now, remember, she always says Democrat. She'll never say Democratic in reference to the Democratic Party. That's part of the messaging, because they're trying to disassociate that word from people's heads, because it sounds like they stand for democracy, isn't it? Stop saying that the comment on the Facebook page about Trump's trial was a hoax, because when you say that, you're playing right into the media and Democrats' deliberate and calculated efforts to spin this and discredit Donald Trump and provide cover for Judge Merchan. Donald Trump, his legal team, and MAGA were not the original source of the screenshot and Facebook comment. What she's doing is that she's trying to debunk the fact that this has been debunked. And I don't know, should I read this entire fucking thing? I mean, let's just kind of examine this paranoid rambling. What is she trying to say here? She's basically, so this comment has been debunked, and she is trying to prevent it. She's trying to prevent it from being debunked. She desperately wants it to be real. Why? Because Donald Trump is guilty. Donald Trump is guilty. The evidence shows that he's guilty. Everybody knows that he's guilty. Everybody knew he was guilty before the fucking thing started. I mean, his lawyer, Michael Cohen, went to prison for this shit. It was pretty fucking obvious that he was going to be guilty. And they want to give the Trump sycophants, the followers of the Trump cult of personality, they want to give them an out so that they can still feel like somehow it's wrong. See, if you can spin it to it being a conspiracy and that Trump is really innocent, then that justifies everything. And then people will still vote for him. And that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to say that it was, the hoax, that the Democrats are trying to say it's a hoax, but it's not really a hoax, right? That's the first thing. Second thing you'll notice here, she says that it lies on Judge Merchan to vet this thing, right? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The judge did the right thing. They saw a suspicious comment, and so he informed the lawyers on both sides of both lawyers of what happened because it was suspicious. That's the right thing to do. The judge is not someone who investigates things. It was relevant to the case. That's why he reported it to the lawyers. It's not up to him to decide if this is real or not. It's up to him to decide if it's relevant. And it was relevant, and that's why he reported it. Whether this was a real person or just some shitposter, as we'll see in a minute, that's not up to the judge. The judge is not investigating things. The judge is not, he's not a police officer. He's not a private investigator. That's not his job, right? His job is to make sure that the trial is as fair as possible and that both sides have all the relevant information. You notice that she said, the judge should be disbarred if it's a hoax. Why? Because that gives the Trump people an out. That gives them something to blame. If it turns out to be a hoax, then they could say, well, this judge should be disbarred and Donald Trump should be let free. And then the very last line here, this is a Democrat psyop. And get the fuck out of here. They use this word, Democrats psyop, like so fucking often. Every time something goes wrong for Trump or the Republicans or the GOP or any famous conservative, anytime one of those people breaks the law or fucks up or loses an election or cheats on their wife and gets caught, anytime something like that happens, these fucking morons call it a Democrat psyop. What is that? That's like a code word for the insane conspiracy theorists out there, to like basically saying, don't believe what you see with your own eyes. Believe us. Right. There is no fucking psyop. Like, when you say psyop, that makes it sound like it's the CIA or some shit like that. Or it's like the fucking KGB, like going and like sending in spies and planting evidence and all that shit. Get the fuck out of my face with that conspiracy horseshit. Complete total fucking bullshit. But you see, this woman, is desperate to give the Trump people something that they can hang on to. That's why she just wrote 5,000 fucking words right here. Now I'd like to show you why we know it's, of course, been debunked. And why do we know it's been debunked? Because we have the guy who posted it. His name is Michael Anderson. This is what he had to say over this huge kerfluffle that started over his shitpost. Take it easy. I'm a professional shitposter. Definition: in internet culture, shitposting or trash posting is the act of using an online forum or social media page to conduct content that is of aggressively, ironically, and trollishly poor quality. Shitposts are generally intentionally designed to derail discussions or cause the biggest reaction with the least effort. It may even sometimes be orchestrated as part of a coordinated flame war to render a website unusable by its regular visitors, i.e. he was fucking with people. He was shitposting on purpose to fuck with people. And the entire conservative establishment bought it. Sean Hannity and Fox News and Matt Gaetz and Laura Loomer and all of these other idiot conservative dumb shits bought it hook, line, and sinker. Are they going to retract? Now that they know that this whole thing was bullshit, that they know it was just some fucking dude on the internet shitposting, are they going to retract their horseshit statements? No, they will not. And this is something you need to understand. Now it's too late now. It is too late now. The conspiracy theory has already formed. And now, until the end of time, there will be conservatives and MAGA people who will now believe forever until the day they die that Donald Trump was done dirty by this jury, that this jury had it out for him, quote unquote, like fucking Cat Turd said, this jury had it out for him and that the whole thing was rigged from the start and that there was misconduct and that he should have got a fucking, mistrial. And the whole thing was a setup and Donald Trump was innocent. There will be people now forever who will believe that forever. Please don't misunderstand. Sean Hannity and Laura Loomer and Cat Turd and everybody else on Fox News that you saw saying that this was all a hoax or whatever, every single one of those people, they know that this is all bullshit too. They know that this is just some fucking idiot on the internet who was trolling, who did a shit post that means nothing. They know that nobody actually leaked anything and that the jury really wasn't after Donald Trump. They know all of that was bullshit. They're pushing this narrative because now they have a hook, have an angle. They have something that they can tell their detractors when people are talking like, hey man, this next election time, when this subject comes up that Donald Trump is a fucking criminal and people are going like, hey, I don't know if I want to vote for him, man. 34 fucking convictions. That's kind of a lot. They can turn around and say, hey, well, that was all just rigged. The whole thing was rigged. Didn't you see? Somebody posted that the jury was out to get him the day before. That's why. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting, and it's a good lesson of how corrupt conservative media actually is. And how misinformed you actually are when you watch conservative media, when you pay attention to conservative pundits. Because these people don't give a shit about the truth. It's like the exact opposite of truth. Things that you get from Fox. The exact opposite of what the fucking truth is. Especially when it comes to conservative pundits. These people don't give a fuck about reality at all. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll say whatever the fuck they have to say in order to basically help their side win and fuck the other side over. They're parasites, each and every last fucking one of them. I hate conspiracy theorists so fucking much. Hello folks, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.